students and teachers. They don't even know when they're going back, Brian and Steve. And the students learning, what about their learning? It's so disruptive. And one of the councilwomen, who's a Republican for the city, said that they should have been placed somewhere like the Park Slope Armory.
Right.
My question is, out of all the places in New York City, why would they place them in a high school and make the students suffer?
You know,
Why?
They don't want to put them in Park Slope. It's rich. Those rich people don't want illegal immigrants in their gyms, in their houses, in their complexes. You put it in working class communities. That's the key. They don't have much of a voice. That's why in Long Island, they put them in places like Brentwood, who are a working class community, heavily Spanish, who doesn't really have a lot of political sway. But this is a major story because there's limited resources. The city's buried in debt right now, already cutting back on cops and firefighters, and now additional fees for illegals. And guys, they keep on coming to the Port Authority. No one's stopping them.
What is going on, guys? Hey, I wanted to come back, Ted. I wanted to bring you a story, kind of a follow story to what I did yesterday. And I'm talking about the migrant situation. The migrants, the illegal migrants, have been moved off Floyd Bennett Field, and on Tuesday they were put in a high school in Brooklyn, and they were moved to a working class area, and they were put into a high school, and the high school had to shut down, and they had to have remote learning that day. And guys, man, we got to be honest. What is going on here? They know that if they move these people to house them in higher income areas, they'll lose their voters. This will come to an end. So again, they're not going to do that. They're going to misplace the students at the high school in a working class area where there's a lot of people that are below the average income. But guys, man, I wanted to put up a clip of what Donald Trump had to say about this.
We have millions and millions of people here. It is not sustainable. Did you see in New York City where they're getting the regular students out and they're putting migrants in their place? We are going to have the largest deportation effort in the history of our country. We're bringing everybody back to where they came from. We have no choice.
Can you do something about the sanctuary cities?
Yeah. Well, they're going to be ended because the Democrats are going to end them because you can't sustain it. If you look at New York, you have a mayor of New York who now is really hostile to the administration because New York City, that's my place. I love New York. It's gone. It's had a tough time.
I mean, New York City's had a rough time with this. They have. But again, they're sanctuary. They're a sanctuary city. I mean, again, just like Chicago, man, sanctuary. They claim they can help people. They can help anyone. And again, man, they're being stretched. In New York City and Chicago, they're going down. We have to look at it. We have to understand that. People have got to wipe their eyes. They have got to understand that, another year of this stuff. Can you guys imagine what's going to happen? Where we're going to go from here? I mean, we're done. This country is done. Unless people start opening up their eyes and paying attention to what is happening. We are losing our country, guys. We are losing it. And the thing is, man, they won't recognize what's happening. They won't recognize what's going on. They vote the same way. Because, again, they don't want to vote for somebody like Icky Donald Trump. They don't want to vote red. Because, again, they're bad people. They're bad. They're mean. They're racist. They're not. They're looking out for this country. And again, we have to remember, we have to look out for us first. We have to look out for this country first. Because again, if we don't, there won't be a country left. If we don't maintain the integrity of this country, there'll be no country left for these people to try to flee to. there'll be nothing left for them to get help. And again, we can only help so many people. But most importantly, we have to sustain this country for us, for our kids. This is our country. And people have got to wake up. We will destroy our country, or they will. People will destroy their own country in order to look good. And that's what's happening. But guys, I want to show you a clip from Charlamagne Tha God from the Breakfast Club. And he's basically saying that, yeah, I mean, people are going red-pilled. They're going to the right because of what's happening. And again, he's right. They are. But again, Charlamagne Tha God is the same one, the same person that said that basically Donald Trump was the Antichrist. Because watch this.
Governor Greg Abbott's office telling us, in part, his state will continue busing migrants to sanctuary cities until, quote, President Biden steps up and does his job to secure the border.
So what they doing? They're sending all the high school kids to another school. Let me get that straight.
No, remote learning. They got to do it from the crib.
So they got to do it from home.
They got to do it from home.
Yep.
Now, see, when I hear stories like that, it makes you say, build the wall. When I hear stories like that, it makes you say America first. That's why that rhetoric that somebody like a Trump spews or other Republicans spews, that's why it's effective. Because why do these kids have to be
Displaced.
inconvenienced because of the
Yeah.
migrants? Middle of the school year, you just going to tell the kids, stay home? No, find someplace else for the migrants. How is that okay?
I was going to say that too. I was like, out of every place we could put the migrants, it has to be in schools. There's not any place else we could put them. And no disrespect, but they find money for everything else. We can't find money for motels, hotels, to rent gyms, gymnasiums, the Jacob Javits Center and all these big buildings. They find money for everything else, but you're going to take these kids out of school. And no disrespect, I think any parent knows that when you have to do remote learning, kids don't really focus on remote learning.
Again, the reason why Governor Greg Abbott in Texas is sending the illegals to these sanctuary cities like New York and Chicago, because again, they're sanctuary cities, and he's tried to, again, he's sending them only a fraction of what he's getting. But again, he's trying to tell Joe Biden, hey, look, if you want to save your blue cities that are sanctuary cities, then guess what? You're going to have to do something about the open border policy. You're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to address it. But again, he won't. Because again, they want this to happen. I mean, guys, we have truly got to be honest about this. I mean, Trump's last year in office, there were like 454,000 border encounters that year. So there were less than 500,000 encounters that year, his last year in office. And Biden's first year in office, there were almost 2 million. There were like 1.8 million. And this past year, there were almost 2.6 million people that crossed that border. Guys, we have truly got to understand what's going on here. And yes, Charlamagne, you're right. Build that wall. Build the damn wall. Have more border agents at the border. Again, don't let people in. Stop this. Stop this insanity. I mean, again, we're ruining our own country. And people like Charlamagne, man, again, he understands to some degree what's happening. He understands that, again, the reason why people are behind MAGA. I mean, again, close the border up. We have to deal with ourselves for ourselves. We have to have our own country first. And again, he understands that. But he's so brainwashed by the Democratic plantation that he believes, you know what? Yeah. I can't vote for that. I can't vote for for red. I can't vote for Donald Trump. But again, man, that may be your only hope.
What if I can't stay home with my child? What if I can't afford a babysitter? What if I don't have a relative that can stay with my child? How are you just disrupting me and my life for these migrants? How is that okay? And listen, I'm all for assisting any human that needs assistance, but not at the sake of disrupting my kids' learning and disrupting my life. And that's my taxpayer dollars that pay for the school.
Correct.
I want my kids in that school, not the migrants. I don't know how that's okay, yo.
Yeah, and heavy emphasis on they found this out day of. You know, so this wasn't, you know, obviously because of the weather, you know, all of a sudden, but this was like a day of, hey guys, go learn remote.
So what if I got to go to work? I'm already getting my ass kicked. Barely can pay my bills. Barely can keep food on the table.
Inflation is high.
Inflation is high. I have to be at work. What if I can't go to work because now I got to have my child at home to learn because y'all putting some migrants in the school? How does any elected official or anybody think that's okay?
You know what, Charlamagne, man, I agree. I fully agree with you, man. Again, we don't need to have our kids kicked out of school because illegal migrants, you know, had to stay in the school. I mean, yeah, I fully agree with that. But again, man, do you know who you sound like? MAGA. And again, man, we truly have got to understand there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all wrong with that. Because again, we have to put ourselves first. I mean, you, me, doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter where you came from in this country. All it matters is that you're a citizen of this country. That's it. And again, we have to preserve this country for ourselves and our kids. And that's really what they're about. Really what MAGA in a lot of ways is about. It's about returning to the idea of country, of doing for ourselves. No, yeah, but that doesn't mean we demonize other people, but it means that we recognize that there's only so many people that we can help. That's it. And then we'll tear this country apart if we try to do more than what we can do. And that's what's happening right now. We are tearing this country apart because we're trying to help people and we can't help everyone. We can't. And again, we're going to have to realize that this country belongs to us. Doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter if you're male or female, this is our country. We have to protect its borders. We have to protect ourselves. We have to protect our kids. Because again, man, you let millions of people come in across the border unvetted. You have no idea who they are, where they're coming from. And again, we have to realize, man, majority of these people are coming from economically depressed areas. And again, they're not going to build things up. They're going to lower things down. We truly have got to realize that. They will destroy. They won't build. So again, man, they have the mindset from the countries, the areas that they came from. So again, man, if we let so many people across that border, they're not going to get better here. We're going to become more like what they are there. Man, it's going to bring us down. So again, we have to realize that. We do, man. We've got to get to the point where we realize, man, enough is enough. That southern border needs to be shut up. And again, that's why Governor Greg Abbott is doing what he's doing. He is trying to really send a message. If you don't like seeing what you're seeing, shut that border. We have a huge problem down here. But guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a